I'm Malachi Areta. I'm a freshman here, and I'm actually from Spokane, and I'm studying secondary education, specifically in like the history area. Originally, I wanted to be an engineer, was my plan, but kind of the more I grew up and the more I kind of figured out who I was and where my strengths were lying, and I kind of, through sports and through just knowing like kids younger than me, I kind of just fell in love with the idea of mentoring, helping people along their way. I heard about Whitworth, so I've always really known about Whitworth because I live really close, but as far as college, the main reason that I started looking at it for college is because of my major, because of the education program. I knew that it had like a really good rep, and it definitely does around here in Spokane. And I kept hearing Whitworth over and over again from all my favorite teachers and administrators. And knowing that I wanted to go into teaching, I figured I definitely want to get some of what they got done there. So a big part of why I decided to attend Whitworth was because of the scholarship I received. I got the Act 6 scholarship. And then again, because of the major and because of how amazing our education program is here, I chose Whitworth. I really want to be a high school teacher because I don't know, I feel like it's just such an important job. It's so purposeful. I thought about it, I could have all this money, but I knew I wouldn't be really happy unless I found a job where I felt like I was making a positive impact on the world. And I think teaching is just so important because you're literally building the future and you're speaking into the lives of kids and helping them with their journey. Just being on this campus, I've been involved with a lot of like spiritual events. They do stuff with my residence hall. They have like worship nights that I've attended. I did a life group this semester and back in the fall semester. And the classes, just learning so much about like spiritual life and questions that I never really asked myself, even in like history and theology. A really huge experience that I got to be a part of was earlier in the year. It was called Unveiled. It was kind of like a worship night, but in like not as traditional way. Kind of everyone was going to bring their own kind of like different style of worship, and it was kind of to highlight different ways people can worship the same God. And I helped plan with it, I helped practice, and I became a part of it. And that was something that honestly, it changed me for good. I think that night, God's presence was so felt. And like you could ask anyone who went to the first Unveiled, they would say the exact same thing. Like it was something else. I felt God's presence like probably more than I ever had before that night, and it made it like so much more real for me. Music is like just such a way I like express myself. I just love music. One, I make my own music, and that's huge for me, expressing myself and pursuing goals. Reaching people through my music. But even when I'm not producing music as myself as an artist, when I'm just making it, whether that's in my room with my ukulele or with some friends and we're just jamming out, or if I'm playing an instrument or singing at church, it's always not just a way for me to express myself, but it's also a way for me to it's just such a way for me to worship. I love our track team. All the coaches are so great. And they're all just there to help, and basically they're there to speak life into us, even more than just them teaching us about the sport. They're there to mentor us and speak life into us, pretty much exactly what I want to do. So I definitely admire what they're doing very much. They're all there because they want to be there. No one has a scholarship riding on this. Everyone's there to work hard. It's all very optional. And I think that's really awesome because it just shows that like everyone is still doing it because they enjoy it, because they're having fun. It's not an obligation. And I really love just being on the team and working hard. But coming here, and I know that it's definitely like gotten a lot more diverse, even just like the past few years. Coming here, actually a big thing was they have a scholarship from like connected to Whitworth in Hawaii. And it's like, I think it's called Why Night at Whitworth. So there's actually a lot of Islanders here, which for me, growing up in Spokane, there was never very many Islanders around here. There wasn't very many like minorities in general. So like a minority like an Islander, like you didn't really see a lot. And I grew up a lot, just kind of like separated from that and like not seeing people who looked like me, being different. And coming here and seeing like so many people that look just like me and they like the same food as me, and it's like, whoa, for the first time in my life, I'm not so different. Whitworth here is like way more diverse than anything I ever grew up with. And I'm like learning so much from like different people's cultures, and even learning more. I've learned more about my own culture during my time at Whitworth than almost my entire life, you know, and spent more time around like other Samoan people and Hawaiian people that relate to me than I ever really did before. And I think that's super cool. Ag 6 is so much more than just the money that they give us, you know. The money is awesome, the leadership is awesome, but I would not want to trade the family aspect of it for anything. In all three of those put together, I just see it like molding me into who I want to be, and also like preparing me for the future.